Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you for joining me. I'm Gertrude Chapman, inspirational book coach and creator of the Aspiring Authors Lab, where I teach aspiring authors who are struggling with self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-worth issues how to cut through the clutter, stop procrastinating, leverage their knowledge, and create an income. And today, I'm going to be talking to you about some simple tips to improve your visibility. And I'm going to, you're considering writing your book, right? So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to prepare you for your platform. And I'm going to give you some simple tips. So this is going to be some juicy information. So why don't you grab a pen and a paper, to take down this information because it will prepare you for success. And this is some really good tips. And if you're thinking about, visibility and how you're going to, go about, doing what you do in writing your book and getting it out there, you're going to want to pay attention to this. Okay. So are you ready? Let me ask you this. Okay. Do you need more eyeballs on your book? Do you know the methods of delivery to get your book noticed? Should be, and these things should be a part of your plan to get eyeballs on your book and to get your book noticed, even before you finish your book. Okay, these things should be in the beginning before you even finish the book. That's why you also hear me talking about, planning and your profit plan and, different things of that nature. These things are very important. And one of the ways is always remember, you must see where you're going before you actually get there. You have to plan it. That's the only way you can see it once you plan it. Okay. So if you haven't started your plan, now is the perfect time to begin planning for your book. This time right now, today, whatever you're doing, you say, well, this weekend, I'm going to get started writing my book. Before you do that, start with your plan. Start with your plan. Okay. And the way you start planning, you think about, what are your intentions? What are my intentions for this book? What are my intentions? Because when you think about, things like that, it'll begin to shape. It'll begin to form a format for you to, to follow through with. The next thing you should ask yourself is, what is my course of action? How should I get this done? What should I do next? And what are all of the steps? And the next thing that you may consider is, how am I going to accomplish these actions? What am I going to do? What am I going to do to get the results that, I'm planning on? I'm planning on for my book. What are those steps? The next thing you should consider is automating your products, automating your book. Okay? Automating your book. Because automation, it saves time. We live busy lives. So we don't necessarily have the time to, get on this platform and that platform and the next platform. But if we automate that, it could take, thank you for joining me today. It could take, how would I say? It will save you time and take, the rush, because a lot of times we rush through things instead of, getting it done correctly, or we miss things because we're tired, we're overwhelmed. But if you automate your book, it will get your book out there and to reach your audience around the clock, 24/7, 365. So this is one of the things that you should consider in your plan as you're planning, for your book writing journey. Because when you automate, it'll bring in the sales, even while you sleep, it'll bring in the sales. The next thing that you may consider is live broadcast. Live broadcast is very important because it makes it personal. Because people want to see the real you. It's different with, this putting things on social media, or, sending in, emails or anything of that nature. When people can see you online, it's a much bigger, how would we say this? It's a much bigger way to touch people's hearts. Put it that way. Because people are seeing you and they're connecting with you emotionally. You remember we talked about yesterday about, that heart connection. So you have to have an emotional connection with people. And the best way to do that is through live stream, because your audience, another thing, your audience need to identify with you, with the expert, the person that, who's touched them with a solution to their problem at the exact moment of time. So live stream is something that you should consider to, increase your visibility, to, get publicity for your book. And I mean, it's free. It's free. Facebook Live, there's YouTube, there's different channels that even, you can upload it to LinkedIn and Twitter. So there's different methods that you could do to get your book out there, to get the intent out there, to get people excited about the book that you're getting ready to write. So this is part of your plan. This should be part of your plan, because it's a vital tool to use in order to, get people excited about, what you're doing and get the word out about your book. And another thing that you should always keep in mind, fresh content. Fresh content. Your audience looks forward to receiving content to further their knowledge and get their projects completed. Just say if you are, writing a book on, how to solve a problem or how to avoid people getting caught in that problem. So you have to continue to constantly educate people, constantly let people know what's going on, what you're writing about, to educate them, because that's all, we should be doing on social media anyway. This is a tool, and people often misuse social media and live stream with everything else except what it's really designed to do. Really designed to do, if you look at it this way, okay? And there's many people on social media, but there's also many people who's not on social media. And this it's a big mistake if you're going to write a book, or, you have a business or anything of that nature. If you're not on social media, just think about all of the audience that you're missing, all of the money that you're leaving on the table, because you're not reaching out, where you could reach out. I mean, it's a worldwide thing. And just think of all the people that, lives that you could be touching around the world, not only in your locale, not only, in the States, but, around the world. Around the world. So always keep your content fresh, because things are evolving. We don't want to, look at your profile, look at stuff that you had posted from a year ago or 6 months ago. We want something constant every day. So that's what, your audience will expect from you. That's what they will expect from you. So you have to keep your audience motivated and, have to keep them excited. And if you're going to start live streaming, if you're going to start live broadcasts, if you're going to start writing your book, okay, don't just not show up, because people are expecting you each and every day. If you say that you're an expert in a certain thing, then they're looking for you. You may not know. You may not know. They may not even tell you. They might not even comment, but they're there. And the minute you don't show up, guess what? You're going to lose, that audience, one by one. They'll start, deporting. They'll start, looking for somebody somewhere else, because you have to, we have a responsibility to be there for our audience. If we say that we're an expert in whatever area it is, we have to make sure that we're there, because people are dependent upon us. thank you for joining me today. And it's a responsibility. And we, because people depend on you. So you just can't not show up. You can't not show up. And then all of a sudden you have a book and you wonder why people aren't, buying your book, because they don't know you. Live broadcast is one way to build that, that factor, that trust factor, that knowing factor. People want to know. They want to know who you are. You might put everything down, on social media. You may type it in and blah, 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 but they want to get to know you. They want to connect with you. They want to connect with your book. They want to connect with the person that wrote the book. Put it that way. With that heart to heart. They need that heart to heart connection. So if you want to improve your visibility, these are a few tips to help you accomplish just that. And I hope that what I have shared with you today has brought you value. And don't forget to, share this video with a group of people. Share it with somebody, because you never know. You never know what somebody else needs. And for more inspiration, join me on my podcast, because each Monday at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I have a podcast on, it's on several different platforms. It's on Apple, it's on Google, I can't think of the other ones, but it's on several different podcasts for your convenience. And, with podcasts, you could, listen to it anywhere. It's a mobile thing, so you can listen anywhere. So it's called the Aspiring Authors Lab Show. And I talk about, much more than just this. I talk about, not only book writing, but putting it all together. Just like you may have heard at the beginning of the show, it's for aspiring authors who are struggling with self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-worth issues. How to stop procrastinating, leverage their knowledge, and, produce an income. Produce an income. And, that's the bottom line with everything. People want to produce an income, and you do have it within inside of yourself to do just that. But you just need to know how to do it. So we talk about all of that on the show, all of that, not just, one part of it, what to write and blah, blah, blah. But we talked about the whole thing. It's Real Talk Podcast. And you could ask questions, and, you could suggest some things. And I promise you, it will get answered on that podcast. But again, the link is bit.ly/the Aspiring Authors Lab Show. And it's Mondays at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I thank you for joining me today. I'm Gertrude J. Chapman, the Inspirational Book Coach. So with that being said, have a great rest of the day. Remember, this is your time. This is your season. This is your turning point.